Sure thing. You're coming in 20 over 9 over here. Let me try one quick change. I'm going to turn the processor either on or off. I'm going to switch it now. Okay, now switch to some other mode. Any better, any worse?
There's less mod, but I think a less percentage of modulation. So you could probably turn up the mic gain, perhaps, in this position.
Okay, I'll try that. Let me turn the mic gain up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the mic gain's up a little bit higher. I'm hitting a little bit harder. But my power, I set to around 40 watts. I think they want the power to be set for 25 watts. Let me reduce it to 25 watts. All right, there's 25 watts of power. So you probably lost an S unit, but how's this sound at all?
Yeah, I think the mic gain's too high now. I think you're probably flattering a bit.
I am too. Let me reduce it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now the mic gain is reduced a bit. I see the ALC kicking some. Go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds much better. And then try it with the processor on again.
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'll change the processor. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that definitely has a lot more punch, but maybe a little bit of distortion. So maybe the settings aren't optimized. You know, it's the kind of thing that I think if you, I don't know if that has a monitor position, but that usually works pretty well if you put headphones on and use the monitor position and then run it into a dummy load so you can fuss around with it and see which settings are best. What are you using for a mic? Handheld?
Yeah, the Kenwood mic that came with the thing.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad, and I'm surprised how strong your signal is. I mean, I think you're also like S9 plus here.
Yeah, and I'm getting brips and braps of power line crap.
Yeah, you're like 10 over, so that's you know not bad. So which is about what I'd expect. I mean, according to my power meter, I'm right at about 110 watts of carrier, and yeah. And I'm actually not going through the tuner. I'm bypassing the tuner. So this is just the ZS6 BKW with its natural resonance. And let's see. Yeah, I'm like maybe 1.65 to 1 SWR, so not great. So I could probably do a little better if I fussed with the tuner and got that in. Maybe I'll give that a try.
AE1MN and WA1KVJ. Yeah, your power sure shows up as 20 over 9 over here. So fine. And my power line noise is 2 different levels this morning on 80 meters and 40. When it backs off a bit, it's S5, and then, but I still hear the buzz right at S5, and then interspersed is it bursts way up to S9. The noise blanker on this 440 helps get rid of the S5 noise, but when it goes up to S9, the noise blanker is not as effective. So, man, I don't know. The cold, bright, sunny days would turn my power lines into full buzz, even on 6 meters. Go ahead.
Yeah, WA1KVJ, AE1MN. Yeah, I know what you mean, and the difference in the noise blanker performance is interesting. On the when I had my light turned on, so I'm kind of sitting in the dark here, because the main lights for this room that I normally use are on a dimmer, which don't really bother the radios at the higher frequencies, but boy, down on 80 and 160, it's just a killer. But the noise blanker on the R4B, which is what I'm using now in conjunction with the 5100, does nothing. And the noise blanker on the Kenwood TS590SG cuts it out completely, even though I'd rather not have it on if I can help it. So, but anyway, how does the audio sound on this 5100? Does it sound like it has any band with it, or does it sound pretty restricted?
Between all the noise and drips and braps, it sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I haven't done anything I thought I had replaced some caps in the modulator, long ago when I first got it, but I pulled it out recently and looked underneath, and it doesn't look like I'd replaced anything. So I got a list of caps. I need to replace, a bunch of the electro limits, and there's a bunch of coupling caps in there that are like, I think, .001, and the suggestion is to replace them with .1, which sounds like maybe that's overkill. And there's one of those, I don't know how do you pronounce that word? Is it a coupe plate, a cup plate? One of those networks that they sometimes used in old radios.
I don't know what the pronunciation of the word is. Those, what I call those stupid multiple circuits inside ceramic, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's got like 4 leads, and I think they usually, they've got some resistors and some capacitors, and I guess they're maybe convenient for pre-emphasis, de-emphasis, because you got the whole network in there. But I think I can. That also has a small coupling cap in it, and I think I could just bypass that with a .1 and improve things. So there's several bypass caps, and I think that's going to be the next thing. And, I'm also using this, relatively low impedance Behringer mic, into this radio that I think is made for a high impedance mic, but I don't really have any way of connecting the like the D104 to it right now and still be able to key the radio, I think. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I wonder, with this Behringer, I mean, the thing's got plenty of audio gain. The control is only up about halfway, which it doesn't sound like I'm overdriving it at all, does it?
No, not at all. You sound pretty damn good. I like the sound of that rig. And just before you turn it over to me, QSB brought you down, but right back up again. And then a second before you let go of the mic, I got this like 20/9 power line barrage, and then it went away. Okay, on the ceramic circuits. It's funny. I never figured out why. Why bother on a point-to-point wired old-fashioned radio or of any kind? Why put in one of those I call thick film things? It's like, why bother?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's maybe back in the day they the salesmen were pushing those pretty hard on the manufacturers and had some good story to tell them on why they should use those. It replaces maybe half a dozen or so discrete components. Pretty big in those days, but not that big. I mean, what's inside there? The ceramic. There's just got to be just ceramic caps. So, I don't know, carbon comp resistors. But yeah, it's a little weird. Maybe it was the desire to kind of be modern, but that was probably a short-lived. I don't know what the lifespan of those things was, but it was probably fairly short-lived in the 50s, maybe early 60s. So anyway, well, this is pretty cool, Dan. It's really neat that and my antenna is north to south and pretty high, so you're definitely in my null. I mean, if it was the other direction, I'd probably be pegging your S meter. So there you go. And yeah, I'm getting that same QSB. It's surprising to me that there's that it's affecting our signals that much, down here on 40 meters when we're so close together. But yeah, that's the way the signal bounces, I guess. So anyway, I'm gonna I think wrap this up here and finish packing my suitcase. Our flight is not until 4, which is kind of convenient because normally we go out at dark 30, and I'm scrambling to get everything packed like the night before. But now because I've got all day, I kind of was procrastinating. So I'm going to do that and get that off my mind and close that suitcase up and put it in the car and a few other things. So, but I had to play radio first, and this was fun. WA1KVJ, AE1MN.